Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Elite City Podcast. It is the All In wrap up. My goodness, what a show. Rick, what is up? I'm sure we have a lot to say.
Yeah, we do have lots to say. That was, I watched it late. I watched it like after it already was done. So I only started at like 9 something.
Okay.
So I started the show and I asked you to message me when it was finished and you messaged me like 9:30. I'm like, how long is the show? Because I know it started at 3. And then I was like, oh, it's going to be that long. But like it ended for me at like 2 in the morning because I started at 9. But it didn't feel like at no point was I like, oh, I just want this to end.
Exactly.
They did a 6-hour show that the whole time I was like, this is amazing. Just do more of this. Like the whole thing was just, it was so good.
And you said the magic word there. It was a 6-hour show full of things. There was no like dead air. Once it started.
There wasn't like 20 minutes of commercials in between every match.
Yeah.
Which does happen when other companies do 6-hour shows.
I was really blown away by everything. That was an impressive show all around. It was just
it looked awesome too. Like the crowd looked good, the building looked cool, like the stage was great. Like it looked like a huge event, which it was. I mean, it was the biggest non-WWE wrestling event in North America in like 25 years. So
yeah, and they got their what did they get? 25, close to 30 actually, didn't they?
They said Tony Khan didn't say for sure. The Bucks earlier in the day apparently said on like some streaming thing, like they were online somewhere, and they said it was 27. But that didn't include like the suites and like some other tickets. So it was close to 30. So yeah,
that's impressive. That really is.
That's pretty great. And especially considering like, things are crazy expensive these days and people don't have that much money and it's hard to, I mean, that's obviously impressive. There's a reason no one's done it in 25 years besides WWE. Like no one else has been able to do that. So it was a great show. I said this to you. They've had shows where the wrestling has been better, like the individual matches. You can say like the actual quality of the wrestling has been better, but there hasn't been a show that has just like wall to wall just been as good as this show. I don't think.
I agree. I mean, everything was just, it had meaning. Everything was just good. Let's just get into, we're going to pick random topics instead of going through match by match by match. I mean, we're going to hit everything, but instead of being boring, we're just going to do it, the way we do it. We each going to bring a couple topics to the table and go over them. So, do you want to start? Do you want me to start? It's your call.
I'll start because I have a really important one.
Perfect.
Probably the most important question of the entire pay-per-view. I think I didn't talk to you guys about it because I wanted your live reaction because it's so vitally important to me.
All right.
What do you think of Juice Robinson not having facial hair?
That is the ugliest human being on the face of the earth.
Like he needs the beard. He
definitely needs the beard.
I don't want to poke fun at anyone else's appearance, but it looks weird. Like he needs a beard.
He looks like a cross between Baron Corbin and a gremlin without his beard.
I do obviously you'd get used to it if that was how he always was.
Absolutely.
But like him shaving, that episode of The Simpsons when Homer shaves and it's just like his beard is gone and it looks crazy because like he always has that little beard thing. That's what it looks like. Like he looks like Homer Simpson. Like someone drew it wrong.
Yeah. That was like, when his music hit and like people, myself included, didn't quite know who it was. And then you see the Juice Robinson, you're like, oh yeah. You're like, oh, what? Who is that?
Yeah.
It was.
I mean, obviously good to see him back. Cool that they got him back too.
Absolutely.
But yeah, he needs the beard. It also just fits the characters better. Like he needs a beard.
Yeah. I mean, he looked too like normal. Like he needs to look insane. The hair needs to be teased out a little more.
Yeah, he looked like a regular guy that you would see somewhere, and he isn't.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. I take that back. I don't want to say he's the ugliest human being in the world. He's the most normal looking human being in the world.
If he had his hair tied back and like a ponytail and like a suit on, you just think he's like a guy who works in a bank. Which is not what he should be doing.
Exactly. That was interesting. And I liked how they kept specifying throughout the casino gauntlet match that there were no rules. So
Yeah.
obviously they were setting up the like when the guns were going to run down, and
I did like that. Like in the women's one, Sky Blue was not in the match, but she was basically in the match. Like she was there the whole time.
Yeah. Oh, that was just so fun. It was good to see the guns back too. The tag division is unbelievable right now.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I mean the Hurt Syndicate is like their match was good, but the Hurt Syndicate is just so dominant that it's going to be hard. Like there's so many other tag teams, but which one of them beats them? Because like obviously, like when we saw this, it was like Jet Speed and Christian and Nick Wayne are both like they're all talented, but like they weren't going to win. Like it was pretty obvious they weren't going to win. So it'll be interesting to see how they make the Hurt Syndicate lose, and if they tie that into like does MJF cost them the win somehow or something because they're so dominant right now.
Oh, that would be a good one. Like just say you throw FTR in there because it'd be two heel teams. Like and FTR and MJF have a past. You could say that like Dax slipped MJF some money, and then MVP is like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Oh, it's just business," and then walks away. Oh,
yeah, or like something that'll get him something that'll get him further. Because like, yeah, it'll
true.
If somehow I can't think of a way, but something that'll make it easier because now he has the title shot. It'll somehow make it easier for him to win the belt, and he'll immediately turn on the Hurt Syndicate because there's some other like the Bucks promise him something or something. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Oh, that's so good. Well, speaking of that, we'll hit my first topic. I just in general, the surprises that they had at All In were I dug them.
And they were done in a fun way.
Yes.
It wasn't like, oh my God, a new debut. Like they didn't have any of that, really.
No, just the return. And
but it was just a couple. There's some returns, and they were like they all fit in to the show. Like they weren't overwhelming the show.
Yeah.
Like All In 2021, like obviously great pay-per-view. All Out, sorry, 2021, obviously great pay-per-view. But like Danielson showing up at the end, that was the whole show, right? Like that overwhelmed the whole show because it was such a big deal. And all of the returns they did here fit into the show nicely.
I was like stone cold, excuse the pun there, stunned when Dustin won the TNT title. Definitely thought it was going to be Kyle Fletcher.
Yeah.
I mean, I still think Kyle Fletcher beats him, but I mean, you take a bad situation as in Adam Cole getting hurt to throw in this match together at the last second to throw in another curveball, the guy that you think is just, he's just thrown in there for the heck of it. You know what I mean? Like no one expected Dustin to win that.
No, not at all. I think when they realized Adam Cole couldn't be a part of it, you're right. They decided to make it something. Let's have something good come out of this. And I mean, Kyle Fletcher's going to win the title. I wouldn't be surprised if he won it like next week, right? Like they had a match, like collision or something, and he wins it.
Same.
But you're right. I think they decided, okay, this is a bad situation. It's going to be a real downer, which it was. Like
it changed the vibe for a minute of the show.
It did. The crowd rightfully was pretty down for a while after that announcement. And I get it. Like I totally understand. But yeah, I was surprised. It was a nice moment to have Dustin win, and like Aubrey gave him the belt, and like you could tell they had like a little moment there. Like that was really cool. It was nice to see him win.
Oh yeah, I agree. I mean, he deserves it. I mean, think about like they always say this is his fifth or sixth decade in the wrestling business. Like decade that he wrestled in, he's not been wrestling 60 years, obviously. This is his first singles title. And that just shows you the lack
first singles title in AEW.
I don't think he ever had one in WWE.
He won the Intercontinental title as Goldust.
He was okay.
But like a long time ago, in like 1996 or something. Like it was a very long time ago. I thought this was his first one in general, but there you go. Like a guy that's been around for that long, like never world champion, never, like that's just nuts. Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't think he won. I don't think he might have won the tag belts with Cody. I feel like maybe he won the tag belts with Cody, but it was brief. Like he never had a actual
Oh,
reign
okay.
as anything.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean,
Um,
you did hear him say before that like this is the first time he's felt respected by his
yeah.
workplace. And I
I
mean,
mean,
he's worked in several different companies over the course of like 40 years. So
yeah. Pretty much all of them. Was he in TNA?
yeah, I think he never been he was never in ECW, but I think he was on all
Oh,
the other
okay.
major
Okay.
companies. He was in WCW, WWE, WWF, TNA. I think he was in TNA. I'm pretty sure he was. Yeah, he's been
Okay.
they said if he signed a 6-year deal.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to try to wrestle in another decade because 6 years will be 2031, and I feel like he wants to wrestle
Ah,
in
to
one more
get through
decade.
that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
obviously everyone really loves him. Like all the wrestlers, he does a lot for training people. He does a
yeah.
lot for like as a backstage person, like not even as an in-ring person, just as like a backstage person, he seems to do a lot for people. So
And
yeah,
well,
it's good to see.
we'll probably we're going to talk about Adam Cole anyway, so we'll throw it on there, throw it on the coals right now. Oh, excuse the pun. I didn't mean that one either. Um, it sucks so hard for Cole going through
Yeah,
this right now. But the nice thing about AEW is you just hit the nail on the head. Like that, what they do for Dustin backstage. Like Cole can train people. Cole can produce matches. He can
he
work
could
with
be like
rookies,
he could be like an on-screen guy too. Like he doesn't have to
or
wrestle. Yeah,
exactly, or he could be like look at Stokely. Like you don't have to take bumps. Look at Don Callis. Like Don
right.
Callis, no one ever lays a hand on him.
I mean, one
And
time Mox didn't split his head open, but
well, that's true. That's
other
true.
than that, yeah,
Other than that one time when that happened,
yeah.
uh,
But
like
yeah,
that.
there are other opportunities for him. Like what's his name? Uh, best friends, Chuck Taylor.
Chuck Taylor, yeah.
Yeah, he's doing
Um,
backstage stuff now too. So
and apparently Evil Uno is too. I sent you that
yeah,
that link from his Instagram, and he was talking about he had the greatest weekend of his life. He got to produce. He didn't say which ones, but he said some of the biggest matches on the card.
yeah.
So that that means there's a lot of faith put in these guys and girls that maybe they're not wrestling on the card, but they're still being a part of the show.
And that's kind of what AEW's always needed because obviously they came from nothing, right? This company didn't exist,
Right.
6 years ago. So I mean, they hired people who knew what they were doing, obviously, and some people had been like that's why people like Jericho and Cody and
Right.
Mox were so important because like they'd been in large companies before, so they helped. But like AEW in the first few years, obviously we've talked about it a million times, had a bunch of backstage issues with like different personalities and different people, not
Right.
just CM Punk stuff, like a bunch of other things too. Which is kind of expected because they're a new company. They don't have
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
they don't have the infrastructure of they grew super fast. Like most brand new companies don't sign, 3 of the biggest names in wrestling
Right.
simultaneously. Like that doesn't happen, right? That's just how it worked. So it makes sense that it went through some difficult times, but having people like, Dustin or Adam Cole or, what's her Serena Deeb backstage or Madison Rain backstage. Like she
Yeah.
mustn't really wrestle, but she's works there. Chuck Taylor, people like that who've been in wrestling for a very long time. It matters. And that's as much as we make fun of Triple H, what people have said about Triple H is at least he understands what it is to be a wrestler.
Right.
Like you could tell Vince, oh, I can't do this because of this. Like I've been on the road for however many days and whatever. And like Vince is
Right.
like,
Right.
okay,
Right.
well, who cares? Like he doesn't know. Right. But
Exactly.
like Triple H may not be a great person, but at least he knows, oh yeah, when I was a wrestler, that sucked. Having to like check into your hotel room at 2 a.m. like that.
Yeah.
So he at least got that. And yeah, the people they have backstage now, like if something happens and somewhere like Adam Cole can be like, oh yeah, I've been in wrestling for 20 years. I know what that's like, or I can talk to you about
True.
it. Whereas Tony Khan doesn't know, right? He can try to know, but doesn't
Right.
actually know. So, and it seems like him and Tony Khan get along really well. Like they're close.
Oh yeah. It for like it just sucks so bad for Cole, but
It
he
does.
seems to have as positive of an outlook as you can. I mean,
I mean, he does have a
Again,
lot of friends, like in wrestling. Like everyone
absolutely.
seems to like him. Like he has a lot of support. Like I'm sure they all are there for him now. But it does suck. I mean, he had that huge debut whenever he
Yeah.
debuted 4 years ago. Huge moment, had a good run, got hurt, came back, had another good run,
Yeah.
did all that stuff with MJF, and then got like seriously hurt and was out for a really long time, and then came back and basically got hurt again. So like that's tough to deal with.
Yeah. And you don't mess with concussions, especially in the wrestling industry. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
and
in
especially
any
because
industry.
if it's true how he got hurt, like the clip I saw, I don't know if you've seen the clip. It's just like a match on Collision. Kyle Fletcher
Yeah.
clotheslined him, and he didn't
Yeah.
even like hit his head on the mat or anything. He just
Right.
it was a pretty standard clothesline. And so if you're getting, I mean, I'm not a doctor, so I don't know anything, but if you're getting concussed by just, regular bumps, it's not like he like flew off a cage or something. And
Right.
then you can be like, oh, I just won't fly off cages anymore. But
Right.
if you're getting concussed by regular bumps, like that's something you have to deal with and figure out before you try anything else.
Yeah. And like that's what I was gonna allude to is, unlike other sports, there is no protection. I mean, you're basically in your underwear. There's no helmets, there's knee
No
pads and
pads,
elbow
no,
pads.
yeah.
So, I mean, like you said, just a simple move, like, yeah, you do fall directly on your back, but that's still trauma to your body. And if you have concussion, a history of concussions, you know, you can move your head the wrong way and get a slight one,
Yeah. I mean,
So
if you've heard wrestlers talk a bunch of times about like a bump card, you only have so many bumps in you,
yeah,
and no one knows how many you have because everyone reacts differently to things. But I mean, Adam Cole's been wrestling for what, probably 20 years, right?
yeah, probably that.
So I mean, he's done thousands of bumps,
Oh,
and your body can only do that for so long. So it sucks, but
it
I mean,
does.
hopefully he's able to. I mean, it was encouraging that he went out on the show and he talked because some people with a concussion, like they can't be in front of lights and music,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah,
like the fact that he could go out and say something seems like it's possibly better. He's not like sitting in a dark room somewhere, but
true,
hopefully he's
true.
at least able to have, a life. He's able to do things. It's better to stop and quit wrestling, even though that sucks if that's what it comes to, than to like not be able to have a normal life.
Yeah, I mean, this whole time we were talking about this, I keep thinking of Eric Lindros, uh,
Yeah.
professional hockey player. If you don't know, multiple awful concussions. Like the poor guy has to live in a dark room, basically.
Yeah.
It's just
I mean, you hear that about like NFL players, right? I've heard players say like, "Oh, I had to sit in the closet because that was the only place that was
yeah,
like dark enough for me, and
yeah,
for everything else hurt." So like, you don't mess around with concussions.
no,
At least,
no,
hope at least we're in an era now where they check for this stuff.
yeah,
Whereas even 10, 15 years ago, like they just, oh, you just got beat up, keep going, like
yep,
shake it off. That's all it was. Like,
yeah. You got your bell rung,
right?
like it, like you hit the nail on the head again. It At least they do what's that called, the baseline test,
Yeah,
to know even if you have like, I mean, he was doing his like to see if he would be cleared to wrestle, like not I can't think of physical. There it is. And that's where they caught him on it. Apparently, like, he couldn't pass his baseline,
right.
which means it must have been so slight that, he might have had some symptoms, but maybe no more than the average wrestler.
Yeah, and I mean, he wrestled on what, Thursday?
Exactly.
So he was fine enough on Thursday and then wasn't on
Yeah.
Saturday. Like they didn't cancel this match till Saturday. So like they
Yeah.
didn't know. So, or Friday night or something like it.
So yeah, that's the thing with them, that proves that their system's working.
Yeah. It's good that there is a system. Like they're obviously
Exactly.
checking.
Yeah.
And that's important.
And that's good that Tony Khan comes from pro sports, because the concussion protocols, I mean, are in football and in uh soccer,
Yeah.
they're up there in like the top rules of the game. So I'm glad that stuck with him, to be like,
Yeah.
oh, these are athletes too. And because there is no protocols for much of anything in pro wrestling.
And there was always the fear that wrestlers had of, oh, if I take time off, I'm going to lose the
Exactly.
spot.
Exactly.
Right. So the fact that I mean, even before the previous injury, like he broke his ankle or whatever, so he couldn't continue. But like the
Right.
fact that he was able to take time off and come back and still be at, like, they weren't like, oh, you're off the card, right?
Yeah.
Everyone seems to recognize you're not like weak for getting hurt, and we don't have
Yeah.
to punish you, except for Vince McMahon apparently. But everyone else seems
Yeah.
to realize that you're not like weak for getting hurt. You should get time to rest.
Absolutely. What do you have next on your?
Yeah, one thing I want to talk about is they
Yes,
changed
sir.
it now. I just checked, but for the
Awesome.
day after the pay per view on the AEW site, it listed Swerve and Will Ospreay as EVPs. It doesn't
Oh,
anymore, but it did for a day, and I
okay.
wondered if they're going to do something with that. Are they just, you think they're just going to forget about the EVP thing and everyone's going to move on, which is kind of what I hope they do? Or do you think that this will continue to be a thing that either Swerve and Ospreay talk about, or that the Bucks are like constantly mad about that they lost it? Or will it just be, we move on now and everything goes forward?
I personally, I think the Bucks are gonna just continually moan and complain every week. It like just be themselves, but I think they're gonna give their new power. They're gonna give it to Kenny. That's what I think. So like
Yeah,
Kenny will hold like 3/4 of the company or whatever.
I could see that. I kind of do hope that they just get rid of it, because I don't, like, it never really works. It doesn't work for me. We've talked about it during the Buck storyline with the EVPs, is that we know Tony Khan is actually in charge,
Yeah.
right? Like even outside of wrestling, like even in the real world, like yes, the Bucks have more power than the average wrestler because they're EVP, but like Tony Khan has the final say. He
Yeah,
owns the company.
he's the owner, exactly.
So it always seemed a little weird to be like, these guys have all the power except for this other guy who actually has all the power. Like it was, so I kind of wish that they would just at least temporarily forget about it. And like I've been enjoying the Bucks when they're just annoying jerks and they're good
Yeah,
at it. Like that's what they're good at. They're good at just be like, you sent me that interview they did with Renee, which I thought was really good.
it was really good.
It was a really good mix of in character and out of character. Like they talked about the creation of the first All In and the founding of AEW, and that was all real stuff that actually happened. But
Yeah,
they did it kind of in character, and that's hard to mix. It's hard to mix in character stuff with not in character stuff, and sometimes they're really bad at that. And they've been really good at it recently. So I've been enjoying their stuff. So I kind of hope that they're just like being obnoxious and not trying to blur we're actually in charge. Like just drop it and just be just be jerks that annoy people because they're good at it.
Well, speaking of jerks, how incredible was their entrance?
It was funny. I
It
like
was
that.
so good.
And I like that even, I think it was, I forget, was it Excalibur or Taz who mentioned, oh yeah, this is not just annoying, but like Osprey's been out here for 10 minutes now.
Yeah.
And he has like a specific style that he warms up for. And now he's not warm. And like Osprey caught on to that. Cause I don't know if you noticed, he was like stretching and doing jumping jacks and stuff during it. Like his,
Oh, see, I heard them say that, but I didn't notice Will.
yeah, the whole
That's
thing.
awesome.
And then I think Swerve saw him doing it and then started like stretching too, just to be like, oh yeah, this is the thing that we're going to do. Okay. Cause they're amazing.
That's so awesome.
But it was obnoxious. It was funny, and it served a purpose, being like, oh, we're going to make them wait.
Yeah.
Throw off their schedule. We're going to throw off their training. We're going to like, it was fun. That match was really good. The whole
Yes, it
thing,
was.
everything
Yes, it
about it was really good. What do you think? Are Swerve and Osprey staying on the same side? Or are they immediately, now that the Bucks are out of the way, are they going to be at odds again?
I don't like, I would like to see them stay a tag team, but I like the tag division is so stacked right now with like legit tag team. Not that they're not legit, but like tag teams that are actual teams.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to see them together, to stay together, excuse me. But yeah, I don't think they do personally.
Well, it does seem like the feud with the Death Riders is continuing. Not them personally, but they booked a trios match this week with Yuta, Claudio, and Mox against Hangman, Hobbs, and Mark Briscoe. So at least that's continuing. So if that's continuing, do Swerve and Osprey stay on the good guy side? I don't know.
Well, if that's continuing, you can maybe have them at least for maybe even the rest of the summer, just like get under the Bucks' skin.
Yeah. I'm a little surprised it's continuing. I thought they would just move on, but I get it.
Yeah, no, like I get it too. But after you brought that up, like I figured it was just over too. But after you brought it up, maybe, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, the next pay-per-view is Forbidden Door, so that doesn't really play into storylines generally, like they usually, because they involve
That's
New
true.
Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to see where it goes. And the funny thing is, like a year and a half ago, maybe, if I saw that they were booking this trios match the day after, the couple days after a match that should have ended a feud, I'd be like, oh, what are they doing? They're dragging this out for too long.
Yeah, I agree.
But like, it's been so good for the last, year that now I'm like, I'll see where it goes. It's probably good.
Let it cook
like,
a little.
Yeah. Like I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Do you remember years ago, before Hangman won his first title, they had that match where him and Dark Order teamed up against the Elite, and if Hangman and Dark Order won, they'd all get title shots, and if they lost, they didn't. Remember
Yeah.
They did it on Dynamite, and Hangman Dark Order lost, and everyone was like, "Oh no, they're killing Hangman. They ruined his angle." And I remember at the time being like, "No, have faith in them. They've never screwed up like that before." So have faith, and it worked out. Like a pay-per-view later, Hangman won the title. So now I'm back feeling like, no, I have faith in them. They haven't screwed anything up in a long time. So I think wherever they go with this is probably going to be good.
I agree totally.
All right, what do you have?
And mine's 2 for 1.
All right.
The surprise is Tony retaining. I totally thought she was losing to Mercedes.
I agree.
And just that match in general, like that was the greatest women's wrestling match I personally have ever seen.
It may have been, from like a match in terms of enjoying that, like it may have been the best match of the night.
I would agree to that.
Like the main event obviously had like an emotional attachment to it.
Yeah,
that makes it great. But from like just storytelling and a match standpoint, it might have been my favorite match. That match was really, really good.
It was phenomenal.
And they did throw us off. They had Athena win the gauntlet.
Yeah.
Where it seemed like, oh, obviously then Mercedes wins the title, but she won't. She didn't. So it was great.
Instantly all our, the things we were talking about leading up to that. Oh, if Mercedes is a double champion, like, her first loss, it has to be, she has to lose the world title before she loses the TBS
they solved
title.
that problem.
Yeah, they solved that real quick. It is now, do you have another long, full-blown, drawn-out feud with Athena now? Like, that seems to be the Tony Storm method.
Yeah, that would be really good, because Athena's a good character. Like, she has layers to her, and she's new-ish to like people who only watch AEW, right? If you're not watching ROH or following online, if you only watch AEW, you've only seen her a handful of times. Like, you know who she is, but you haven't seen her that much. So that would be, Tony's a great character. That would be a good way to like reintroduce her to people and build her up. Yeah, that would be fun. And it's new. It's not what anyone expected them to do. So,
and there's like the whole wrinkle of, I'm going to put air quotes in here, that Ring of Honor is the lower company, but she could be on AEW TV and just like she rules Ring of Honor, but like, she come up to AEW and like, try to throw her weight around. And then Tony is like, well, where do you think you're at? This is my division.
I could see Tony being like, oh, you're maybe a big shot there, but you're not.
Right. Yeah.
This is, And
then,
I could see it adding a new level to Tony too. Like Tony had the crazy starlet thing with Mariah May, and then kind of went into like the angry detective level with Mercedes. Like it's a slightly different gimmick. And maybe she'll add a different layer to it. She'll be a slightly different Tony Storm against Athena. Like I want to see it. It's brand new. We haven't seen it yet. So it's going to be. And then for the TBS title, who do you think it'll be against Mercedes? Now that she's lost, now it's more likely that she could lose, right? Like before you're like, oh, she's never going to lose the TBS title on like a random Wednesday because she's undefeated. But now she could. Now she could lose it anytime.
I would love to see, like, I feel that Statlander needs a bigger run. It made sense for her to have it, and it made sense when she lost it, but we've we've now had a TBS champion in Mercedes for 4 or 5 months now, or maybe longer.
No, it's longer than that. It's been almost a year, I think.
Oh yeah, it was. They even talked about it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They even talked about that at the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It's time, because like that was a it was not like a throwaway title, but it kind of lost its prestige, and now that prestige is back.
Right.
Give it to someone and let them have it for 4 or 5 months. It doesn't need to be
Yeah.
another long reign, but don't pass it around like the TNT. Excuse me.
Yeah.
would get
They have kind of, the TNT titles kind of lost a bit.
yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I love Stat. I think that would be awesome. I also want to see Willow somehow involved.
Mm-hmm.
If they had either Stat win it and then Willow challenge Stat, or Willow win it and then Stat challenge. Like, I want to see them.
Yeah.
I want to see them feud over the belt. Like, not that Mercedes shouldn't be involved in something, but if the two of them feuded over the title and then give Mercedes something else to do, or give her a break. Like, she's been wrestling nonstop for a long time. Like,
well, that's what I was just going to say too. Like, I'm wondering if the time's coming to film something or something, because she was in The Mandalorian, and I know there is another season of that, but I don't know when that is coming.
Or just like, she's had a pretty hectic. She wrestles out of AEW too, right? She wrestles all over
Very
the place.
true. Yeah, she has like 47 titles.
So even if she just wants a break, like, go for it.
Yeah.
Slightly related to that, one thing I loved about the Casino Gauntlet, specifically the women's match, but the men's match too, is it really showed like the strength of like the mid to upper card of both divisions.
Yeah.
Like, when you think of AEW, you think of like the main event people, obviously, or you think of maybe like the really young up and coming people, right? But like, both of those matches showed, there's a ton of, like, they probably weren't going to win the match. Someone like, even Sky Blue, like, she probably wasn't going to win the match and challenge for the title, but she's there and she's a character and she's important, and like, she has the storyline and she could easily fit into anything. Like, I would like to see the TBS title like open up a bunch of storylines, because I mean, it's time for more than one women's match a show. Definitely.
Absolutely.
When you just look at the roster they have there, and this isn't like we're going to be WWE and we're going to have an all women show because our PR needs a bit of a boost. This is like, we have wrestlers. Like, I'm not saying the wrestlers aren't good. Like, the wrestlers are great. Like, I have no knock on any of the women wrestling in WWE, but that's like a cynical view of why they're holding that show. And I think the cynical view of what AEW is doing is the network is probably telling them not to have more than one women's match a show.
I agree. Yeah.
But when you look at the roster, like, how many people were in that match? 20, including
at least
including the people who interfered, like Penelope Ford and stuff, who weren't actually in the match but were involved. Anna Jay, I don't think was actually in the match, but she was like, there's so many people that could be doing things. Like, Thunder Rosa could be doing something. Hardy Cameron came back. That was cool.
That was super cool when she came back.
They should all be doing stuff like regular, even if you're not doing matches. So fine if you want to do 1 or 2 matches a show. Like, I understand not everyone can wrestle, but put them in segments to have them do something, because
100%.
There's too many. You could even say the same for the men, but there's too many men for the slots they have on TV, but they also have 5 matches a show.
Right.
So you can't really do much more than that. But I mean, even if some Dynamites had, 3 women, have 3, just 1 week, have 3 matches, and don't make a big deal of it. Don't make it like a whole thing. We're going to have extra women's matches. Just book
just
them.
To let it happen and know. Yeah.
And you wouldn't even notice, probably, because they'd all be good matches with characters you care about. And you
true.
Only like once it was over, you'd be like, oh yeah, they had 3 women's matches. Nice. Like, yeah, they need to be, they've built it up now. There was a point where you could say, when the whole division was basically Britt Baker, where you could say, oh yeah, I get why they only have 1 match. They don't have enough people, right? They don't have enough known wrestlers, but that's not the case anymore. So yeah.
No, I totally agree. What you got? What do you got next, sir?
I guess my last one is Okada and Omega. Obviously, awesome match,
incredible.
But it's also not over with how that ended, right? Like, Don Callis.
I'm surprised.
I'm surprised the way it ended. Yeah, I'm surprised Okada won. To be honest,
Same.
I didn't think he would.
Same.
And Okada got help from Don Callis, and Tony Khan even in the press conference said, "Oh, because it wasn't a Continental Rules match,
Correct.
he's not allowed to interfere, but he's not going to be punished for interfering. But going forward, the new title will carry the Continental title, so all new matches will be Continental Rules matches. So are they
So
gonna
badass.
are they gonna have a rematch where now you're like, oh, now Don Callis can't help you?
More than likely.
And if so, when do you think they'll do it? Will it be like next month, like on Forbidden Door, or are they gonna wait? Where do you think does Kenny Omega, and obviously does Okada stay with Don Callis? I mean, he won, so he's probably gonna be happy, but they have laid the groundwork for Don Callis saying he's the best Japanese wrestler in history. And
True.
like Takeshi just standing right there, being like, I'm
True.
also a Japanese wrestler. Like,
True.
and now that Okada won, is Don Callis going to go over the top praising how great Okada is? And is that going to upset some of the other guys that he's with? Like Kyle Fletcher didn't win a title. Is he going to be kind of annoyed that Don Callis Don Callis didn't even come out with Kyle Fletcher, did he?
I
I don't think he did.
I don't think he did. I don't think he did. Wow.
So I can see the rest of the family being like, why are you spending all your time with him and
True.
not any of us? I don't know. What do you think they'll do with that? That's my question.
Well, real quick, little side note, going back to the Bucks interview with Renee, I think it was Matt Jackson who said, "Oh, well, Okada is always elite. He's elite until the end of time, blah,
Right.
blah, blah. He's just with Dawn for now."
Right.
Like, so there's even that seed. Like, well, even Matt and Nick think he's coming back.
Right. And what if they realize he's not? What if on Dynamite,
right,
Okada and Dan Callis are such great friends now that they beat Kenny Omega? Like, well, yeah, that's a good one.
yeah.
Are Matt and Nick going to be like, wait a second, I thought this was just for that match. Why are you like with him now?
Oh, if they make their whole world fall apart, I think that would be
yeah, now they lose their friend too. Yeah, they lost their EVP title. Now their friend is with them. Yeah, that would be good.
That would be hilarious.
AEW is getting so good at like the various layers to stories now. And what I've always loved about them is nothing happens on its own, right? You're not feuding with one person. That's the only person you ever interact with.
Right.
Like, yeah, they're involved with the Don Callis situation, even though they're not really. They have their own stuff going on. And then the Don Callis family has their own stuff going on, independent of Kenny Omega. Like it's so good. But yeah, I want to see them. I don't know if they'll do Forbidden Door, because Forbidden Door is like a New Japan AEW thing. They could spin it as like a New Japan AEW thing and have it there.
And that's also in England, right?
Right.
Then you would have the first 4 matches in Japan, the 1 match here, and then 1 match in England. They would count that, like the global feud.
Right.
Like
I did have a feeling Okada was going to win when they did mention that they had 4 matches previously. 1 was a draw, 1 was Okada, and 2 were Omega. And as soon as I was like, oh, Kenny has 2 and Okada has 1. Now they're tied. Right now they've had 5. They're 2-2-1. So yeah, they have to have the other one.
And that one could end in a draw too.
And then they have to have it in Canada, conveniently at the show that I'm at.
Or I was going to say Japan, but
they could do that
too.
That would
be way cool. That'd be way cooler to have it. Oh wait, he's from Winnipeg though, huh?
He's from Winnipeg, but he's super over here. Like he's
obviously. But I just meant they would.
It's not in like his hometown. Yeah.
Yeah, if they were going to do that, they would do it in Winnipeg.
Yeah, but yeah, this isn't over. So maybe Forbidden Door makes sense. They could do it in England and say like this is they started in New Japan. They continued to AEW. They've been all around the world. Yeah, that would be fun. And it's going to be a big crowd. Yeah, that would be good. I like that.
Oh, man. Everything is so good.
Yeah. We haven't even really talked about the main event yet.
Well, no, that's my last thing.
All right.
Not that it was a surprise, but just how... Actually, the surprise was how a hardcore match, because that's all that was. It was a Texas death match, obviously, could be that good. And it was that good. Like it wasn't all blood and guts. I mean, it was blood and guts, but it wasn't. Yeah, that wasn't the main focus of it.
It was violent, and there were parts of it that were gross, where like I cringed. But it wasn't the focus. You're right. It wasn't the focus of the match. It wasn't 20 minutes of getting hit in the face with barbed wire. Like it was. They spaced it out well when they did it. Like they used the fork or they used the nails, but they didn't do them like back to back to back. It was like there was a match built around them. And yeah,
I'm gonna give Mox credit here. Taking the power bomb on the goddamn bed of nails.
Yeah.
It's just like just unbelievably absurd.
I want to
That
give
was
Mox a ton of credit for all of this. Like,
absolutely.
this storyline did drag in the middle. It did, to the point where we did a whole podcast on whether or not they should just drop it because it was so bad. Like, we did that, and it was true. It was at the time, it was true.
100%.
But he has been, like, since the Copeland feud, he's been like a heel that you hate. It's not like you don't want to see him because he's boring, which is a thing that happens in wrestling.
True.
And it's not like a Christian type heel, or Swerve when he was still a heel, or Hangman when he was being a heel, that you're like, oh yeah, this guy's cool. Like, I'm gonna boo him because I know I'm supposed to. But like, if he tells a joke, I'm gonna laugh because he's funny. Right. But like, he did take, like, he has no redeeming qualities. He's not funny. He's not his wrestling isn't especially entertaining. Like, he does slow, like, his matches are slow. He does a lot of, like, you know, choke holds and wrist holds and stuff that are not interesting to watch. He doesn't interact with the fan. He basically has no redeeming qualities at this point. Like, he's a heel that he comes out and you're like, oh God, I hate this guy.
Yeah.
And like, but you want to see him wrestle. He's not boring. It's not like, it's not interesting. It's not like you don't want to see what happens, but you just hate everything about him. And he did it. He made himself such an irredeemable heel that Hangman winning was just so amazing. Like, I was watching alone in my basement at 2 a.m. and I cheered, like, out loud, and there was no one there, and it was 2 a.m. and I cheered when Hangman won. Like, I was so happy, and
so good.
It's a fake show about fake fighting, right? Yeah. But I was like, yeah, it was so good. It was perfect, and you knew it was going to happen. That's the thing. You were like a 99% surety that it was going to happen. Totally. But just the fact that they left you that 1% of maybe it won't, that when it did happen, you're just like, oh God, that was so good. And like,
go ahead.
The run-ins were perfect.
Yeah.
Danielson and Darby, the way they came in was perfect because they didn't overwhelm the match. The whole match didn't become about Darby, the whole match, or Daniel. Like, they fit into where they were. It was so good. Everything about it was great.
Yeah. And I mean, again, even with Darby, we kind of figured something. He was bound to come back,
right?
If it was going to be either at the Casino Gauntlet or in the main event, or
right.
Whenever they went to the wide shot, and like, they kind of had the match going, so you could see the screen in the background.
Yeah.
And when Darby's picture just came up, and it was like, there was like a half second before he said anything, and just the way that that was a very well produced segment. Like, if you weren't paying attention, Darby's voice caught your attention and it made you move your eyes.
Right.
Or if you just happened to be looking back there, you saw it before it kind of happened, and it was super cool. Like, I caught it once he talked, but it was to watch it back, like, oh, that was done so well.
Because that wasn't the only time they cut to a wide shot, right? They cut to a wide shot to show the crowd a couple times. Like, they moved the camera around a couple, and so it wasn't like, oh, this, when they cut to the wide shot, you weren't like, oh, it's gonna happen,
right?
Because they'd done it before that. Yeah, it was this super well produced show. Now that you mention it, it's very well, like, super professional. Looked great, sounded great. There was no issues. Like, it was great. Everything about it was great. They sent a legal letter to Danielson saying not to do the yes chant, and the very first thing he did was that was great. Like,
that was wonderful. Like, okay, you can't copyright a word, so
like, and he's not even saying it; he's just pointing. Right?
Exactly.
Like, the crowd is saying it, unless you can copyright pointing upward, which I don't think you can. Like, that's not distinct enough that you can say, oh, we invented that, because pointing up when you're celebrating is just a thing that people do. Right? Like,
exactly.
But yeah, all of it was so good. Perfect event, perfect show.
Agreed. Perfect.
You could probably nitpick and find weird stuff that you don't like. I did feel kind of bad before we end. I felt kind of bad for Mystico because I think they really expected the crowd to sing along with his theme.
Yeah.
And the crowd did not know the words to his theme, which I
And-
get because they're Spanish. But
exactly. And they tried it at what was he on? Was he on Dynamite or Collision before?
he was
But
on
they did the
Collision before.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did the same thing there. They like gave him the big long entrance, and the
Yeah.
poor guy's just like, okay, there's.
And he was like pointing out to the crowd, like,
Yeah.
okay, this is your turn to sing. And the crowd was weighing along, like, we would sing if we knew what we're supposed to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it was great. MJF has they haven't actually explained it. Is it going to be like last year where you can cash in at any time, or do you have to
see
in advance?
They left it vague. They just said
Yeah.
it's a guaranteed future shot. So
I kind of hope they do it where like you have to pick the show. You can't like cash in in the middle of a match or like that seems a little WWE-ish to be like you can cash in whenever you want.
Yeah.
I kind of want them to be like, oh, you can cash in whenever you want, but you have to like set a date. You have to be like next pay-per-view, I'm cashing in, or
absolutely, or
whatever. Yeah. That would be fun.
That would be, because then it gives that a little more importance.
Yeah.
Like the contract, and it gives you an actual build for the winners. Like just say, excuse me, MJF wants to cash in for Forbidden Door. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then you could have Athena wait until like next March. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to, you could let one play out and then have one not, you know, they're not tied together. That's what
and if you do win, like the problem with cash-ins when they've done them in WWE is always like, oh, it makes sense to cash in if you can cash in whenever you want. It makes sense to cash in like after someone just had a big match, right? Like it makes perfect sense to do that. But then if you do that, then you look like you didn't actually win, right? Like you're beating someone in 2 minutes who already had a match. And yeah, you're the champion, but it only works when a heel does it. Really, when a face does it, you're like, you're kind of a jerk for doing that. Like it.
Yeah.
So this way, there's always the threat that, oh, next Wednesday, I could cash in on you if I wanted to.
Right.
But at least it's a match and a real match and like a feud and a build up. And yeah, they could, I want them to stretch out one, and maybe because there's still strategy involved to it, right? Like maybe I could see the Hurt Syndicate asking MJF, oh, you're going to cash in for Forbidden Door? And he's like, no. Hangman's I need to wait till he gets worn down a bit more. Like he just won this belt. I need to wait till he's like softened up. And maybe then they go through a series of like, they attack him backstage and soften him up. And then he injures his knee or something. And then Max is like, okay, now I'm going to cash in next week. Right. Like now that you're hurt, I'm going to do it. Like I would like to see that have some more strategy and feud to it, as opposed to just when he did the cash in before, it wasn't the Casino Gauntlet, it was Casino Battle Royal when he had that stupid ring. Yeah. Like he cashed in advance that time, right? He's like, at the pay-per-view, I'm cashing in. Whereas when Christian did it and just like,
at the end of
I get it. That makes sense for a heel to do that, but I just like it less.
I agree. Do you have any closing thoughts?
I mean, it's so good. Like AEW has been so good. It's weird. I think I mentioned this. I don't know if it was with you or on my own. When they talked about Restore the Feeling, as soon as they stopped talking about it and just did it, and just like, oh, the feeling was good storylines and good matches, we're just going to do that. Then it worked, right? Like all they had to do was just start being good again. So I totally get why they fell off. Like there was all the stuff with Punk. Like I'm sure he played into like future plans. They probably had things planned for him to do that then couldn't do. And then there were injuries. And then there was like, people like, Miro or Malachi who like didn't really want to be there. And they probably had plans for them and that they had to cancel and change a bunch of times. Right. So that ripples through I get why it happened, why they kind of fell off, where the matches were still good, but the storylines weren't, because each one of those people not being there affected probably 5 other things they'd planned to do. So I get it. But like since it was like maybe the Continental Classic last year, or kind of since Will Ospreay showed up, it's been back to where it should be. And like the last, 6 months, year, of AEW it's been so good consistently every week. And there's so many things you care about and people you care about. And like Osprey and Swerve, for example, aren't in the main event. They're probably not going to challenge Hangman soon. Like they probably will eventually, but they're probably not his next challenger. Right. But like they're main event top level guys. Like what if you look at any of the biggest periods in wrestling, you had a bunch of guys who were at the top, not just like two. Right, like you can go back to the 80s and like, yeah, there was Hogan and Andre, but there was also, you know, Ultimate Warrior, Ted DiBiase, or a bunch of other Andre the Giant. Like there was like all kinds of people there. And then the 90s in WCW, say you had like Hogan and Savage and Sting and Lex Luger and whoever. And on WWE, you had Austin and Rock and Triple H and Shawn Michaels and Undertaker, right? Like you need 5 to 10 guys. Now, like you could put a main event with basically anyone. You could pick 2 people off this roster and make that your main event, and it would work most of the time.
Oh yeah, dude. Like the setup is there for, you know, everything. And it's not the setup. I mean, they're doing it, as you said. It's absurd.
Yeah.
It really
like
is.
They've done it so well in the last little while that like, yeah, I'm excited. I want to know that there's big stuff coming up. I don't know, when is Blood and Guts usually? It's around this time, right? It's like summer.
Yeah.
Right? So I mean, that could be where they go with the Death Rider stuff. Maybe they do a Blood and Guts match.
Oh man, that's gonna be fun. So much. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm stoked. I'm just happy for everything now. I actually cannot wait till tomorrow to see what things continue and what new things start.
It's funny. I missed Collision this week because I was like, oh, I'm busy and it's right before the pay-per-view. Not much is going to happen. And then like the greatest segment they've ever done when Swerve and Hangman were backstage. I'm like, oh, that's why I have to watch Collision. Like they made it so like, yeah, it's just so good. You will have to watch all the time.
Well, thank you everybody for listening, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. We are on YouTube. We are everywhere, at Elite City Pod. We are also on YouTube. Please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Helps the algorithm, and leave a comment too, if possible. But yeah, thank you everybody. Thanks for the support. And I hope you all enjoyed the pay-per-view. And there's just so much more, and we will be there. So we'll be back.
Glad to have you back, by the way, too.
Thank you. Thank you. It's fun to be back. Well, we'll be back next week. So until then, later.